Artificial intelligence is changing the face of the world. Software developers have come up with what has now been described as an obsession of sorts in ChatGPT. But right here in our backyard, Bertha Khokong has developed mobile GPT delivered via WhatsApp. She believes this can revolutionalize the country's education system.
Ask anyone about the craze that is ChatGPT and spark a whole infinite conversation about the pros and cons. An application that some will say will spur efficiency, while others say it is the fastest way to kill creativity. Software developer Bertha Khokong, who has developed mobile GPT in South Africa, likens the views on this new technology to when the calculator was first invented.
When calculators first came out, people thought, oh no, but kids are not going to learn how to add anymore because now they've got a calculator. They're not going to learn maths because you don't need to now multiply in your head. You can just put it in the calculator. But actually, over time, what that did is that it enabled kids to learn faster and to learn more complex problems because now they didn't have to think about the 1 + 1. Yeah. So I think AI is going to be the exact same thing. So many things that we did manually that was tedious, now we're going to have a helper on the other hand. It's only going to elevate our ability to do our work because now we don't have to do the tedious work. It's going to take us to the next level of, I think, productivity. Yeah.
The first draw card of Khokong's mobile GPT is that it is already integrated into WhatsApp, making it convenient. Khokong says the biggest leap in the AI revolution started in the last year when OpenAI released the language model. For her, it was to take it to the next level and integrate it into WhatsApp, making it convenient and even easier to use.
And with mobile GPT, it's why we also took it a step further and said, let's make it even more accessible and put it on WhatsApp. So now it's on WhatsApp, you can access it via WhatsApp. Now imagine you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to maybe even do market research or prepare a proper pitch deck or something, you're going to meet investors and you want to get yourself properly, versed in a specific subject, For you to spend the time, to spend hours going through the library and you won't even know what you are missing. So let's say you do find some articles and you read and you prepare something, you don't know what you don't know. Yeah. When you ask a language model like this, it's going to tell you everything. You know what you're not missing anything. And you can take all of that information. So it's about efficiency.
Besides the WhatsApp integration, Khokong says mobile GPT offers features such as image generation and document generation. Although building the software in a month was the easiest part for her, she did encounter some challenges along the way.
We struggled with, people, for example, thinking that maybe we are a scam, So even I can tell you we got blocked from Facebook, from Twitter, from Google, we got our accounts were suspended. We've got suspended from all those places when we're trying to talk about our product, especially when I'm trying to say, oh, we've got ChatGPT on WhatsApp, because it sounded like, no, this is a scam. Because the ChatGPT is this language model, how can you have it on WhatsApp? Because now we're also introducing a new technology that has never been done. So people, when they saw it, they thought maybe we're scamming people. Or we are doing a scam. So that was a big challenge at the beginning. That I had to go through so many reviews or processes or appeals to prove and submit evidence. So did you try it out? This is not a scam. And then later we found that actually there is other people that are actually doing this kind of scams.
The global AI market value is expected to reach $267 billion by 2027. This means it has the potential to either disrupt or enhance the education system, particularly in a country like South Africa. As it is, some schools have already banned the use of the technology, but Khokong says, in fact, AI can help the education system if used correctly.
My opinion is we need to now teach differently. Same as when a calculator was introduced. We didn't say let's ban the calculator because people are not going to learn maths. No, let's use the calculator. Let's use ChatGPT to teach. We know that people can now ask it to tell me about the Anglo-Boer War. So let's not ask that kind of question. Let's ask a different question that helps them learn using the knowledge that's now available. Because we're not going to stop technology and progress.
Diabosito, SABC News, Johannesburg.
And we continue with the conversation. We are speaking to CEO at XCOLAB Africa, Nhlakanipho Shange. A very good evening to Mr. Shange. Thank you so much for speaking to us. I'd perhaps like to continue with that thread, particularly about AI and education. But this time, I mean, we saw earlier on in the year OpenAI launching a ChatGPT app for iOS. It's now officially going mobile, but I want to understand, what does it mean, particularly when using the mobile version of ChatGPT, syncing your history across devices and education in general?
Well, you see, it's quite difficult to answer that question, but there are quite a number of advances that are being made, and being able to share the information across all devices, while it does pose some risks because of artificial intelligence, but at the end of the day, it is for the convenience of the user.
So, I mean, we mentioned the fact that it's taken the world by storm, but what is it really? I mean, we've seen it write essays, code, and more given short text prompts. It even writes songs. But as you mentioned, and our previous interview mentioned, that there is a more nefarious side to it. So when we're speaking education, what would that be?
Well, a more nefarious side to education, well, right now, that is currently happening is that people are now using it to answer their academic assignments. While there is technology as well, that is artificial intelligence, that is trying to counter that effect, I don't think that is quite the thing that we should be worried about, because there'll never be substitutes for human creativity and the human element, even in academia. So what artificial intelligence does is learn a bunch of information and try as a human would to make sense of it. But when you are studying a particular subject, for example, in the South African context, this is a tool that is currently very much Western. So having used it before, you kind of have to teach it the context in which you want it to be applied. And for you to be able to do that, you need to be a human being that knows that context so that the machine can then be taught and learn it.
And I'm so glad you mentioned this whole aspect of the human touch. So major brands are experimenting with it, using AI to generate ad and marketing copy. But the questions are they going to replace the workforce? Now, in terms of ChatGPT business, the OpenAI, I believe, describes the forthcoming offering as for professionals who need more control over their data, as well as enterprises seeking to manage their end users. But we have seen companies also use it as an excuse to get rid of the so-called human resources of capital.
Well, that one is a bit of a complex matter, and it has been debated a lot. And the way to sum it up for me is that I think in one debate they said that lawyers with ChatGPT will just perform better than lawyers without, which means that, you know, it's not going to replace the professionals. You know, I look at it even in the context of what we do at XCOLAB, you know, consulting with small businesses and helping them accelerate their growth. We're now actually teaching them about artificial intelligence and introducing them to ChatGPT so that when we're consulting and trying to formulate their strategies, we're just working faster. It's not going to now invent a new way of doing business. It's just going to help us be more efficient and work faster. So what you can achieve on your own in a month, you can literally shrink it down to a matter of a couple of days.
And I was actually just thinking about it, that it's one thing to anticipate the questions that are going to be asked by end users, but the connection human to human is totally different. So I suppose from what you're saying, that standpoint, that it's important to understand that it can only go so far.
For now, definitely it can only go so far. But, you know, caution should be had. There's many debates that have been had. I think even one of the founders of OpenAI recently testified in Congress, addressing this issue that, yes, in as much as artificial intelligence is here and it can help us, there also needs to be a lot of responsibility around how we use it and how we develop it moving forward.
Now, ChatGPT was recently supercharged by GPT-4, the latest language writing model from OpenAI's labs. What does it offer and what are the limitations there?
Well, I'm actually currently using ChatGPT 4, and the difference between ChatGPT 4 and ChatGPT 3 basically is that ChatGPT 4 is a lot faster. There's less throttling in terms of speed, so it'll almost respond to prompts immediately. The current limitations right now, I think, are sitting at, for me, because I think it depends on regions and I think how long you've been a user. But for myself right now, it's about 25 questions every 3 hours. But trust me, compared to what you achieve with 3.5, there's quite a significant difference. And in terms of the accuracy of the information that it pushes out as well. Because you must remember, ChatGPT will never not answer you. So it will always give you an answer. That's why it's important that's why I say it will never replace the human. Because the human who's using ChatGPT needs to know exactly the subject matter that they're trying to investigate or have some inkling of the subject matter that they're trying to engage with. Because ChatGPT can lie to you, but in a very, very convincing way.
That's interesting. I was actually thinking about something that was said about a Reddit user. But I want to ask about this before we run out of time. So Y Combinator-backed startups are apparently trying to build ChatGPT for X for YC demo days, winter 2023, whatever that is. But what does it mean for startups? How does it help you along your journey?
Look, you know, like I said, we're currently working with entrepreneurs right now in one of our programs at XCOLAB, and we're literally giving them ChatGPT and saying, use this tool so that you can think through your business strategy a lot faster, think through your marketing strategy a lot faster. If you have a problem within your business that you're trying to solve, or you need to be pitching for you know, some kind of tender or whatever pitch that you want to do to a client, you can use ChatGPT to challenge your own ideas. You can use ChatGPT to help you inspire new ideas. You can use ChatGPT to help you solve problems for your clients. So what it does for startups right now is that it can definitely help you move a hell of a lot faster than you would without ChatGPT.
So we just need to upskill people. Thank you so much for your time and much appreciated your insights. Nhlakanipho Shange is the CEO of XCOLAB Africa, speaking to us about ChatGPT and OpenAI.